If you've ever been an anime fan, you've probably heard of what Vocaloid is, or at the very least, some of its mascot characters. Vocaloid is a popular synthesizing tool that's used by producers and artists to create songs by inputting lyrics via syllables into a large grid, then tuning those syllables into voices. However, despite its colorful and bubbly surface, it hides a deep, darker side that involves cannibalism, murder, torture, and even crimes against children, all packaged in neat little tunes that hide their sadistic nature. Disclaimer: this video is meant to dive deeper into the songs themselves in isolation for what they are and what they say, rather than any implications on the producers themselves. Be warned that I will be showing intense lyrics, imagery, and stories that cover sensitive topics. I was around 11 to 13 years old when I first had my Vocaloid craze, and unfortunately, it was during this time that I was actually exposed to a lot of these songs, with the last few songs being the most uncomfortable to watch. We start off this dive with a song about a girl who has a garden of hands. The song Fear Garden is sung by Kagami Rin, where she discusses in great detail about her secret garden she can't speak to anyone about. She talks about how she views the hands and arms of people she's mutilated as flowers, uprooting the arms budding from the right and stabbing them into pots, entwining the index fingers with the middle fingers. It's the great completion of a flower. The song itself is pitched in a way that is scratchy and definitely not done with your usual instruments, giving it an intense aura that what we're watching right now is a murderer at work. And especially a murderer with a clear disregard for the lives of her victims, using playful words like, you know, and don't run away. And by the end, she makes a cruel, unknown joke that everything she said so far are just lies. Probably. The Tailor Shop at Enbizaka is a song from Moti's 7 Deadly Sins saga, embodying the sin of envy. It's a humble song about a young woman named Kayo Sodo, whose husband has been constantly away and cheating on her with multiple women. All the while, she is slaving away at her shop, working constantly without fail. Kayo also laments that during this turbulent time in her marriage, a murder is running in the town, causing the people and her husband heightened distress. However, her focus is merely on his cheating getting so bad that by the end of his song, he barely even recognizes his own wife. But that's not true. The true horror of the song is about how oblivious and ignorant Kayo sings her laments about a cheating lover, when in reality, she is a deeply troubled person who is coveting the father of a family of 4. She kills and murders the man's wife and 2 children, then takes their clothes because she deeply believes that they will make her lover love her. She takes the wife's red kimono and the 2 daughters' green obi and yellow hairpin. In the end, she confronts the man with her new clothes, only to be met with a grazing question of does he know her. Out of rage, she kills him and completes a murder of a family. But it seems that in the end, she doesn't regard her actions as anything, or is even aware of her killing him, saying that despite everything, she will keep working hard on her tailor shop. The Song for a Great King, retranslated into Song for the Great Satan, has no business being this much of a bop. It's the ramblings of a devotee who sings about her devotion to the pitch black castle. The lyrics are a jumbled mystery of callings, such as, "It sings with me. After I sing, mimicking me, the pitch black castle sings." And, "A wicked brat is beaten. The crimson creature beats him. The creature used to be white," suggesting ritualistic activities of a young child that was hiding in a corner before being sacrificed to a mysterious entity, all to summon and feed a pitch black castle. This is the Happiness and Peace of Mind Committee, where everyone is happy and no one can be unhappy. Because if you're unhappy, you get hung, decapitated, fired at, electrocuted, boiled, drowned, burnt, buried alive, poisoned, stoned, dismembered, crucified at your discretion. This is the Happiness and Peace of Mind Committee is a disturbing propagandistic song sung by a politician that wants to keep her people happy by telling them that being happy is the duty of the people. The committee spokeswoman assures people that they don't have any worries and dissatisfaction. And if they do, then they'll be dealt with so that the nation can keep up a 100% approval rate of pure happiness. However, there's a more somber side of the song where the main speaker asks why everyone's so happy, and that everyone's so happy that it's scaring even her. She understands that the people want to leave and run away, but it's nothing more than a facade as she happily declares the funeral of a knight, and that if you like to attend your own funeral, you can line up over there. Otherwise, live happier. And if you're not content, then you can just die. Dance of the Corpses is a song about abandoning the living and joining the dead in their dance. While the tune is of your typical rondo-style happiness, the message conveys a person's deep thoughts of suicide and the desire to join the dead as they deem it to be much more fulfilling. The Dance of Corpses will empty your head of thoughts to part from the sad, fleeting world. Here is a sweet, sweet paradise. For living on is an exercise in suffering. However, the latter part of the song takes on a second-person shift, where it seems like the song is talking to the listener, using words of, "Your place is here among us as well," and "I'll kindly make you one of us as well," guiding the listener along this ride of gleeful happiness in this joyful march. With its upbeat and almost uncaring nature, it evokes a sense of learned helplessness, as you just listen to this rondo continuously and laugh. Laugh and dance until there's nothing to laugh about. And I do want to showcase the producer Kikuo for this amazing song, because we're going to be seeing more of their works later in their list. Now, the next songs cover explicit topics of child endangerment, murder, cannibalism, and mutilation. You have been warned. Listening to Circle You is a trip down a dark tunnel with no hope of coming back. The melody descends further as a soft music box shows the story of young children in an abandoned building forever in the shade. The children are happy as a new visitor arrives, and they ask them to play a game. The game is known as Circle You, where children surround a young player in the center who has their eyes closed. The child at the center has to guess the person behind them correctly, or else. However, the song dives into the crueler history of the orphanage. It was an experimental site where a forbidden technique was being studied and dissected. From young children's brains, a wonder elixir of immortality can be made. Make a circle around these meager brats so that they can't escape. During the night, before daybreak, slice off their heads. The children return as vengeful spirits, forcing those unfortunate to have visited their orphanage to play with them. These next two songs are connected and provide the sad story of several victims being locked inside a facility to be mangled and mutilated, only to be displayed in an abandoned circus in the woods as quote-unquote entertainment for the guests. Darkwood Circus talks about a young girl who stumbled into a mysterious circus where the ringmasters are wide-eyed and 10 meters tall. The circus shows a variety of interesting characters, the two-headed freak whose bodies are sewn together, the wondrous deformed siren whose legs are mangled and her body is reversed, and a blue cannibal who loves to eat things cold. The lyrics are a jangled mess of perspectives between a delusional happiness of ignorance, a plea of recluse and salvation, and a defeated helplessness throughout everything. In the end, the young girl is taken away. The wide knowledge of the late madness provides us the complete story of where these mysterious actors came from, and it leads us to an experiment chamber. The song is a mellow descent into madness with a tune that is constantly repeating throughout the song. There's little inflection or changes, and it gives you the eerie solitude of being trapped in a clean white room. The singer is always brought in this room, where it is clean. Every night, one person is removed and brought to the flower garden room, where they are mutilated and turned into the mysterious actors of the Darkwood Circus. I'm Sorry is a song that, when I first listened to as a child, I didn't understand. But now as I'm older and have read the lyrics, oh god. This song was so disturbing that the actual lyrics violated fandom terms of use, which I didn't even know was possible. I'm Sorry is a song about a young girl's perspective as she is inappropriately sexually used by the men in her life. However, because of both the trauma and the fear of her situation, she is manipulated into believing that they are doing these bad things to her because she's bad and unruly, which is why she apologizes for her behavior. That even when she is falling apart or feeling horrible for what her father is doing to her, she apologizes. Even when she is running away and battered, she apologizes. And as she runs away, she is found and manipulated by an older man who hurts her. But because of her dwindling sense of worth and the belief that she has been misbehaving, she continues apologizing for her actions, and that she is feeling sad and ashamed of what is being done to her. In the end, she returns to her father, who continues the cycle of abuse. to the point that her mind completely breaks, and she is saying that as long as they are satisfied with the taste of her warm heart, she is happy. But honestly, the most disturbing out of all of this is the fact that this is a popular TikTok song, and I don't know how to feel about that. While the songs previously were just disturbing, there was a safety of them being merely fictional despite covering realistic topics. I can't say the same for this last one. Secrets of Hysteria is a song sung by Oliver, produced by Steam Pianist. I remember being so disturbed that when Fischl from Genshin Impact used the word phantasmagoria, I immediately was reminded of this song. And similar to the previous one, the song's lyrics have been removed from fandom. So, let's begin. This song was about a murderer named Hamilton Howard Fish, or Albert Fish, a serial killer, child molester, and cannibal who committed at least 3 murders between July 1924 to June 1928, according to Wikipedia. One of his known titles was The Werewolf of Hysteria, and I don't wish to go any further with his complete recorded history of murders and molestations. Secrets of Hysteria focuses on the murder of Grace Budd, and the letter that was given to her mother. Fish subsequently took Grace to an abandoned house he had previously picked out to use for the murder of his next victim, Hysteria Cottage at 359 Mountain Road. The song talks about little Gracie finding a small strange house with a man who had various murdering supplies and was preparing before he feeds on the sheep's white fleece. Little children went astray. In the sunny soil beneath, wriggling worms in disarray. The gray man begins to play with the children as the song tells them to be an artful dodger when the cleavers start swishing. The images on the music video itself depicted the numerous children mutilated and murdered by the gray man, and even mentions that Cyril Quinn ran quick. This is a reference to a 10-year-old child that was being inappropriately used by Fish. Cyril Quinn and his friend had found the implements of hell, weapons that were used by Fish to kill and mutilate his victims, a knife, a small handsaw, and a meat cleaver. Afraid, they escaped. However, poor Gracie fell in vain in the boogeyman's hunt. Tiny saints, digested, dissected. What makes this song even more horrifying and disgusting is that when reversed, there is a hidden meaning in the lyrics that quote the letter of Albert Fish to Grace's mother. Due credits to Elizabeth Val and Toxic for this interpretation, cleaning, and discovery. This is an excerpt from the letter itself. Vocaloid is known popularly for its more bubbly songs that have happiness and generally just nice and pleasant to listen to, but it's also been used as a tool to musically discuss difficult topics. Vocaloid itself is nothing more than an instrument and can be used as a tool to show people the sadder realities of this world, whether fictional or otherwise. And I'm sure that I have missed a lot of songs actually that I was meaning to cover. Alice of Human Sacrifice, Okasan, You're a Useless Child. So many songs out there that I definitely implore for you to listen if you're comfortable with that kind of topics. But anyway, welcome to the dark side of Vocaloid. My name is Aster and thank you for chilling with me. Goodbye.